Johnny Gaudreau couldn't be there for Team USA's big win over Team Canada on Sunday, but his spirit helped drive Team USA to that gold medal.
You are Locked On Boston College, your daily podcast on the Boston College Eagles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome. This is Locked On Boston College, your team every day. I'm your host, AJ Black of Eagle Insider, part of the 247 Network. I've been covering Boston College for over a decade. If you're looking for Boston College news, analysis, and details on your Eagles, you are in the right spot. Locked On BC is a free daily Boston College podcast available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Today, let's talk about Johnny Gaudreau. On Sunday, the Team USA won their gold medal game against Canada in one of the most exciting matchups in hockey that I've seen in years. Matt Boldy, who's a Boston College graduate, scored an early goal for Team USA, but Cole Maker scored later to tie it up, and the game goes to overtime. Well, first of all, I have to say Connor Hellebuyck, heck of a game. Wow, what a goalie he is. And I think anybody who followed college hockey when he was at UMass Lowell knew that was coming because he was incredible there. See him do that on the big stage was even more fun. I mean, what a performance by him. The jubilation after that for that win, when they scored, when Jack Hughes scores the game winner in overtime, was incredible. I jumped completely out of my seat. This was one of the greatest moments. I mean, I wasn't alive for the miracle on ice, but this felt like that kind of moment. Like Team Canada looks so much better than Team USA for periods 2 to 3. The fact that Hellebuyck did everything he could to stand on his head to win, to keep them in there, and to get that juice to score that goal in overtime, it was so great. And it was such a great moment. But this isn't about that. This isn't about you can go somewhere else and get your real Olympics, play by play, because that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about what happened after that. An emotional moment that caught me by surprise because I didn't know it was coming, but it was such a special moment. I have to talk about it. And it started right after they won. Members of Team USA started carrying around the number 13 jersey for Johnny Gaudreau. If you don't know the story of Johnny Gaudreau, he was a Boston College, Hobey Baker winner who was one of the best players I've ever seen live, who was allegedly killed by a drunk driver in New Jersey right before his sister's wedding with his brother, who also died, who was also a BC hockey player. It's a horrible story, and just a life cut short, especially given that his wife was pregnant when he died. Just awful, awful, awful story. And so to see them carrying his uniform, he was supposed to be there. He was going to be a member of that team, was just gut wrenching. But it just showed what Team USA was all about. And it continued. Even after the players were carrying his uniform, they kept showing his widow, Meredith, and their 2 children, John Jr. and his sister, Noah, and his parents, Gus and Jay, who I can't even imagine what they've gone to. Losing both of their kids, having to watch that. Like, his dad was so emotional, and I can't imagine what he's going through. But the moment that just made me just weep was when they did the team photo. So if you weren't watching, they, like you've seen any game, like any hockey Olympics or Stanley Cup, they get the whole team on the ice. They do a big group photo, which is what you expected. I was just expecting they were just going to do it with his jersey there, but nope. They brought his 2 kids on the ice, and as a dad, it just crushed me. His little daughter, who I know no older than 2, is sitting there smiling. She's got the most beautiful smile, and both of the kids look just like Johnny, and they're just sitting there smiling, like so happy. And the team is just like, it's not about them. They're like all about the kids. it was such an emotional moment. I don't know how anyone wasn't. I'm getting it right now. Like, I don't know how anyone wasn't emotional watching that. It was such a special moment, and it again goes to the camaraderie. This is what you heard about from the team after the fact when they talked about it. The camaraderie and how every team member, like he was part of their family. Johnny Gaudreau was part of their family, and there was no clearer, you know, um, act than when they had those kids on the ice with them. They got the little toy, which was like I think the Olympic mascot, and the both kids just like it was just so perfect. It was him. It was a way to get Johnny, even though he can't be there, to be part of a special moment and to honor everything he did for U.S. hockey. Like Johnny Gaudreau was a small, undersized high school, hockey player who goes to BC, is absolutely electric, becomes Johnny Hockey, and does all these great things in the NHL level, was prepared to be a star for the Olympic team, and then has everything cut short from him. To be able to honor him, to make him part of this special moment was incredible. For me, overshadowed everything else about that win. And it's not taken away from the guys. The guys, all those players that were out there were incredible. Like the fact that the tenderness, the way that they cared for those kids and that family, it just tugged at your heartstrings because it was so genuine. It wasn't BS. It was so genuine. You could just tell that everything they were doing was out of a place of love for Johnny and his family. And that to me touched me in a way that I haven't felt about a sporting event in years. Like it felt genuine. Like the heartstrings, like all of it was hard. And I can't, believe me, I'm not here to make this about me, but to see like all of that just go on, and this family who's been through hell, like absolute unimaginable hell, to have them there supported by these players, to have their kids made feel special in a moment where they don't understand, but it like they probably were like, oh, this is so neat because they're little kids. It was just a cool moment. It really was. And it made me love what sports is about. Because at the end of the day, it's not Team USA versus, I mean, it is Team USA versus Team Canada. But what is it about hockey and sports that we really love? It's it's the brotherhood, it's the sisterhood when it's hot, when it's whatever the case may be. You know, all these hockey players, the women's hockey players, I'm sure were there supporting them too. Like it's not just about the men. Like it was all of that. It's that thing about sports that gets to the essence of humanity, and it hit it so hard, especially when you had like Jack Hughes out there with like half his face bashed off, and he's still smiling with the U.S. flag wrapped around him as he's supporting the kids. Like all of that was just great, and it just at the end of the day, as a hockey fan, it just makes me miss Johnny Gaudreau. I wish he was still here. He was one. There's been lots of great BC players. None of them hold what Johnny Gaudreau did in my heart more than him. Like no one will ever match that. He's such a special player. And I hope his you know, I hope his family enjoyed. I don't even enjoy. Like I just hope they got some solace and some support. And what must have been, I mean, you saw his dad. His dad was weeping through most of it. Like I hope they just the family and the brotherhood of that team just, and I'm sure they are, leapt in to support them in a way that they needed it. And that at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? So I just wanted to talk about that more than any of the games that I went on this week. This was a moment, and yes, it was a BC centric moment, but that family, it was tough, and but it was still it was beautiful. That's at the end of the day what it was. Watching guys just beat the snot out of each other in hockey is fun, but to see those same guys turn into big teddy bears to two kids that don't have a dad was powerful. It was very powerful. So that was my thoughts. Thank you all. I'm not going to get into my plugs because I don't feel appropriate talking about it after that. So thank you all, and I'll see you again tomorrow for another show.